Now, part three of my video series deals with all things in the garage. I have already posted part one, which deals with all the external features of the compound. And then the second movie I made, which is part two, deals with all important features of the inside of the house. Now, this last movie in the series will deal with important features in the garage. I'll try to point out important areas where you would find things, be able to connect and disconnect, and where tools are located, and various outlets, and piping and irrigation and so forth. So that will complete the series as I'm finishing here, and hopefully you'll have all the knowledge you need to do any work that you might need to do on the compound. We're looking now at the front of the garage, and you can see the keypad there that allows you to operate the garage door manually if you ever would need to. And if you need to change the code of that, it's pretty easy to do. You can look that up on the internet, and it shows how to easily change that code. Moving inside the garage, you'll first of all see a black power strip, and that's where you can plug in extension cords and gain power that way. That black box on the left is the controller for the exterior lights on the soffit, and you can see that the phone booth is located right there. It's fully functional, the phone's working, and if you ever wanted to use the light and fan feature of the phone booth, you simply have to plug in that black cable that you see just to the left of the phone booth into the power strip. Then you would have a fully functional phone booth with phone, lights, and fan. It works really well, and it's a nice feature of the house here. Next, I want to talk about some of the cupboards. There are a series of cupboards on the left side of the garage. And this first cupboard, I have a whole bunch of tools, hand tools. These ones that you see hanging on the wall are my antiques. Some of them go back to the 1940s and 1950s, so keep a close eye on those and try not to use them. They're more for historical purposes. Inside this first cupboard, you're going to see small boxes with nuts and bolts and screws and washers and just about anything you would need to do any sort of a small project. There are some small tools there, hammers, screwdrivers, pliers, etc. But the most important feature in this first cupboard, which you'll see come into screen in just a minute, is this brown carton or brown box up in the right hand corner. That contains all the manuals for the tools, for the pool, and just about anything you would need an owner's manual for. Over on the right is another cupboard. Inside there I have all the grandkids' treasure boxes. I also have stored some of the keepsakes from Evan and Tyler and Marissa that they might want to have to be able to look at a little bit later in life. There's some real treasures in there. Moving over to the right of that cupboard now, you'll see a power strip that provides power to that strip that I just mentioned by the telephone booth, and that small thing indicated by the arrow is a transformer for the doorbell. I have it disconnected right now. It's working off a wireless doorbell by the front door. That can easily be reconnected if you ever needed to. The box that you see here is the gun box, and inside there are some of the guns we've collected over the years. It's locked with this lock that you'll see here, and right now I'm keeping the key to that lock on top of the gun locker, but of course that's not probably the best place for it for permanent status, so move that anywhere you like. Moving further now to the right, you'll see the water heater. You'll notice that I have it pretty well strapped down for safety's sake. You have to do that by code, and if you ever needed to replace that water heater, just make sure that you reconnect that strapping that I created for it. That small white box on the right is the key box with all the spare keys for everything to do with the compound. And the actual key to the key box is located on my keychain for the van. Above the refrigerator, you're going to see a junction box. This is where the old garage light used to be located. And I moved that light to above the door. You see it right here. And that's now controlled by the switch, which is located just behind the refrigerator. And it lights up this side of the garage pretty fantastically. As we move over to the right of the door, you'll see the controller for the sprinklers. These control the valves for the backyard. There are only two valves for that area. Right now it's listed as valves 1 and 3. That little black box is a controller for the wireless light that I have in the garage next to the cupboards. See stored on the shelving is a capped off sewer line and a capped off hot and cold water pipes. And I left that there so that if anyone ever wanted to put a sink there or possibly move the washer dryer to the garage, you would have access to a drain line and hot and cold water. I've never done that, but that's a possibility if you ever wanted to. Now in the back of these items on the shelf, you're going to see an outlet here, and that controls the power strip on the side. And that black wire going through the wall is the wire that gives power to the sprinkler valves for the backyard. It's attached to those sprinkler valves through the wall. Over to the right of those, we're going to move towards the door leading to the back, and you'll see a capped off plate there. That used to be the light for the outdoor light fixture, and I gave that constant power so that it now provides power to the motion sensor lights on the side by the trash cans. You wouldn't want to turn that off. Over to the right of that, you're going to see a little spare key hidden there in case you ever needed it. It's the key to that side door that leads out to the trash can area. Now we're going to move over towards the workshop area. This is the remote control for the smaller garage door, and there's an outlet there that I installed that powers up some of the components I have on the work table. You'll see there's a CD player, there's spare batteries for all the tools, there is a VCR DVR combo, and there's the TV, and then there are speakers attached at the top there. Now moving to the far corner of the garage, you'll see one of the last things that I want to talk about. This is an outlet that I installed to plug in chargers or anything you need, and then that switch controls an overhead light that I put in above the work table. That's about all for now. That ends the section on the garage. In total, I made 3 videos, one on the outside, one on the inside, and a separate one for the garage. Hopefully these will be helpful if there's ever a time that you need to locate anything or repair anything, and that should give you a really good picture of all the unique features of the compound. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.